Today's video is taking place on Rustified AE Monday. It just swiped about 2 minutes ago, and we're looking at 400 to 500 pop on the server. We had no plan for this swipe, but all we wanted to do was run a rig. So we're looking to get some red and a blue card so we can go to rig. A little bit of information about my teammates this swipe. We're playing with Squirtle. He's got roughly 2,000 hours on Rust, and he's quite a demon at the game. Our other teammate is ITK my mates, and he's roughly got 400 hours. We're still just showing him the game and getting him used to it. That's why we decided to go to rig this swipe, just to get him used to rig. From here, I was able to bag in my teammate that died on spawn beach so we could all run together. From here, we just kept running through the jungle towards a ziggurat to go for a recycle, and this would bring us closer to the middle of the map where Airfield was, and that was our ideal base spot. We were able to kill one kid here, but the other one managed to get away. Couldn't get the rest of the loot. We think he had all the recycling loot on him. We recycled all the comps we had and decided to move to base spot straight after this. I died with everything on me, but my teammate managed to clutch up and get the base down. Since I didn't get myself a bag down in the area, I decided to run up with some farm and a bow to meet my teammate in the base he built. decided to build right next to Airfield so we'd have access to a red card monument, and also near Radtown so we could get blue card. This would allow us to get the red and blue we needed for rig. We grabbed our comps and we went to Airfield to recycle so we could get a tier 1 down and start cooking up some tier 1 guns. We grabbed everything we had, farm and the recyclables, and we headed back to base with everything. We just took some time here to upgrade the base and go out and farm so we can expand to the second floor. The base started coming together quite nicely. We just fixed up bags, created up some more space in the core, and added some honeycomb. We quickly added a second floor to the base before going out for a little roam. We geared up, one of us a DB, the other a Revy, and the other just a nail gun and a crossbow, in hopes to get a green card and some kills. We spot two kids lurking here, obviously trying to hit a little recycle. We thought they were doing cards and we got really excited, but unfortunately they didn't. We just recycled down all the cheese and then we decided to head back to base and hit a quick little depot before going back out. We head straight back out after depoting in hopes to get a green card swipe at Radtown and find a green card on the way. Unfortunately, it was already swiped and we also did not find a green card on the way. We roamed outside of Radtown in hopes to find some goobers, and we did, and unfortunately, we ended this guy's wipe. This cracked us up, poor guy. While Squirtle ran back to base to depot all that goop, me and TK kept running up towards Miltons in hopes to find a green card. But knowing our luck, we did not pull a single green card. I gave TK some goop to depot back to base as I went into Miltons to hopefully grab a green card. It was already taken, but there were two scientists left, one on top and one near the fuse. Hearing those Rebby shots, I decided to ego, even though I had the green card for our wipe. It was a bit stupid. Unfortunately here I got seen, even though I couldn't see them. I decided to go down and bait for them to come over. Unfortunately, there were two, and the guy I killed wasn't the guy with the Rebby. If it was, most likely could have won that fight. It happens sometimes. It's unfortunate, you whiff. Anyway, it went night. I decided to start my vagabond treasure in hopes of getting a gun. Whilst it was night time, we also crafted up some Revy kits to get ready to roam in the morning, go to Oxen's in hopes of getting a green card and cracking open that treasure. Those guys were incredibly juiced, so we decided to go back to base, quickly depot, and go straight back out. Got super lucky with the treasure, so it's always worth a try, because you never know what you can get. We hit a quick little depot and took out that green card to try hit up Radtown for a blue. We managed to kill all the kids on the base, and however, Squirtle did die, so unfortunately we had to hold the bodies until he could come back. We started getting counted from sides. I tried to depot back to base, but unfortunately TK and Squirtle got swamped back at the base, so I came back to try and help. Unfortunately, sometimes it doesn't go to plan. Me and Squirtle took some Revy kits and we tried to go to abandoned cabins and pick up a green card, but unfortunately this was just such an unlucky wipe and we just get swamped here by a 4-man and a fucking 4-man of wolves. We tried to do it again and go to abandoned cabins and it just went horribly. We ran into the same 4-man farming and we all died. So we just hit a little reset, crafted up some Revies and went back out. Until we noticed the little base near us was getting a yoker raided and we just hit a quick little deep. We just quickly depoted everything back to base and hit a quick little restart to go out and roam again. We went out again in search for a green card to hopefully run Radtown. We were about an hour and a half into wipe now, so we were a bit behind with cards, so we had to make a move here to get back ahead in front of the people. I really whiffed this fight. I should have been able to win it, but I kind of sold pushing up to this guy with a Revo. Should have just played distance, but we don't always play perfectly here. I pushed deeper into the woods to try and med and reset the fight a bit, maybe flank around. but somehow this last guy is just invincible. And I just cannot skyline him in the trees. TK and Squirtle managed to leave that fight with all the kits left on them. There was still another 6 of them in the fucking trees with bows, so it wasn't a really winnable fight there. So I just went back to them to re-kit and hopefully find a green card. Thankfully our luck finally turned around and we finally got a scientist with a green card on it. Thankfully this did change our wipe. From here, we took our green card and our fuse and headed straight to Radtown to swipe it. Lucky for us, it wasn't done. Went straight to Airfield, swiped it for that blue card and that red card. Grabbed those fragments in that red card, meaning we could craft our tier 2 and we could finally have a red card for rig. We depoted that all into base and finally crafted our tier 2. Overnight we just did some base stuff, farming a bit outside and organising base. I then decided to expand the base to the shell, since we had a lot of resources built up, and we kept farming. Whilst this was being done, Airfield crate was landing, and we were preparing as well to go grub it. We just wanted to wait for it to land and the crate to start, and wait for some kits to come over, so there would be some PvP by the time we got there. Now from here, we decided to go grab the Airfield crate since it's been out for at least 5 minutes. Me and TK push up to tower because there was 2 kids holding, one with a python and one with a revy. TK does get slimed here by the guy, but luckily I kill him at the same time. I hold it and wait for Yoshi to come over and loot. I give him a DB and we decide to go push the guy up in tower since it was only a solo and I had a shield. I wait for Squirtle to get a good angle on him and I use that time to push up with the shield and the nail gun. Then I ego him. Thankfully, I take 6 python shots with a wooden fucking shield. Slimed him. Well, I got slimed. But Yoshi finishes him and gets me up. We re-kit inside, get some guns on us, and we hear 3 P2 kids coming in on other tower at Airfield, so we prepare up. We drop DB for TK and then we start fighting. I'm not sure how we missed, or I missed that many python shots, even though I was like on them. I don't know what's wrong with my crosshair placement, but I'll zoom it in for you now just to see how atrocious this is. I'm not sure if I'm just absolutely shit with the Python or if that it's just that crosshair placement. I respawn while Squirtle holds the tower and I re-kit up and come meet him. He drops me a DB and there's 3 P2 kids push up the tower. I sort of whiff on that angle there. I was on a better spot, but I slipped off the railing. I managed to down one guy, but didn't really kill him. From here, they were egoing us, so I was able to get another one. And that gave Squirtle the opportunity to come down and DB the last guy. I get picked up, and then I go to loot. However, this must be the most atrocious ult look and whiff of my life. How did I not see those kids? And of course, I just get slimed. From here, we just reset. We finally got our tier 2, we got our cards, we craft up some guns, and we kit up for Rig. And we run over to Outpost and wait for Rig to come up. Once we got to Outpost, we just AFK'd until Rig. Finally, after about an hour of waiting, Rig finally came up and we were getting ready to go. We bought a mini copter and we just waited for Squirtle to finally get back from his shit. He finally got back after taking a shit and off we went to Rig. Our plan was to take the scientists and cool heavies whilst I cleared and we'd pick up TK and bring him over. However, on the way to Rig, we see a mini fly past below and we know there's somebody already on it. And this was about 2 minutes after Large had just come up. We hear about 3 kids jumping around at this point and we play super safe on heli. We eventually ego and just start to clear heavies, scientists. However, with these new scientist AIs, we're still not fully comfortable with them because we're still dying and they're so bricked and laggy. We obviously underestimated again the scientists here and we just got fucked. We shoot one scientist and about 20 go us. You can see they're just incredibly laggy. At this point, I do fumble and died of Pichu on crane. And to no surprise, there was an Arctic Hazzy with Incend DB under heli the entire time we were clearing. That rig was just incredibly unlucky. The fact there were people already on it 3 minutes after it got up is just so unlucky. We took a huge break and we came back after 3 hours. I crafted a P2 and see what I could do. I heard a mini nearby and I went to investigate. Turns out it was just outside a 2x1. Just a cheeky mini slime and we're out of there. I was originally gonna land this back at base. As you can see, I started flying towards base here, but the Discord call convinced me to bomb large as it just got called in. Obviously this was the most brick call. We could have secured a mini and maybe done rig later in the night, but obviously I egoed it with a P2 and 4 bullets loaded. At this point, if you pause, you can see 5 dudes on rig, 1 on ball, 1 on both cranes. It was ridiculous. There was absolutely no way I was surviving this. There was 1 on top of red card and also 1 below red card. By this time, TK finally got out of queue, so we just did a double roam with Revies and see what we could do. We spotted 3 kids, 1 Python, 2 Revy, just near us. We were able to clean up the flight pretty easily, and they're pretty gooped. Some cards on them. We just grabbed what we could and we headed off back to base. At this point we had to do something big, so we crafted up some NVGs, crafted up some ammo for that high cal we got earlier, and we went from a night vision roam. We saw an airdrop really close in front of us, so we knew we had to ego that. This could be wipe changing. There was one P2 kid hiding below, whiffed a little bit with the high cal. My crosshair placement with high cal and Python is just buns, so no hate. We looted up airdrop and we tried to dip, but obviously there were plenty of kids on the way. Absolutely whiffed on him. TK gets down though here. Sarkid just played super safe here. He was honestly playing really well. I res TK and we try to dip again. However, he bricks it and just runs straight into Oxums and gets himself killed instead of hugging the mountain. But we all make mistakes. I try to loot him up and dip, but cheeky nade. Out of nowhere, DB kid fumbles his whole wipe and it's over. At this point, we pretty much just gave up. It's AU Monday and it's a Monday server, so we don't sweat it too hard, you know. Sometimes we have bad wipes, sometimes we have good wipes. This one was a terrible wipe, but we all have our moments.